Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Alright, so. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I'm telling you. So, I just seen a video, left a comment about macros, and I'm like, yes, and no. Like, okay. I love my macros, just whatever. Now, for prime example of this is you'll notice my combo, my Jinpu and my ramp up. Jinpu's by itself. I don't have anything like being weaved into this part of my rotation. So I do not want to macro it. Why? Because it will slow down my rotation, right? If I'm not having any ability follow sequence, right? Basically being weaved off the global cooldown, then I'm losing efficiency in my macro system. And you don't want to necessarily put something in effect that isn't compliant with your configuration. So that's pretty much how I'm just going to put it. I'm like, okay. And why do we macro? Well, there's multiple reasons. One, if you're on a controller, macroing reduces the amount of hotbar space that you need. And especially for controllers, that's kind of important. Why? Because controller players have to actually switch their hotbars with a button, and that could manually take a significant amount of time between their rotation, especially any abilities being woven outside of the global cooldown. And it's like, why would you go ahead and reduce the amount of damage that you can do based on what? Human error, or the time that it takes for a human to adjust the hotbars, even by a button or a switch. And the same thing can be said with keyboard and mouse. How many hotbars do you want up at a time? Sure, you can shift, and sure, you can hotkey. These are things that make it more, convenient. But regardless, you're still having to go ahead and put those abilities on the bar. Now you'll see here a lot of my abilities can be manually shifted. That's why I keep multiple hotbars up, and it gives me another reference between what's going on in my rotation, what's coming off the global cooldown. So, I have hotkeys. Like for example, if I hit this, you'll see my true north has already been hotkeyed. I don't have to shift to utilize that. And because I'm not going to utilize that as frequent as any damage ability, I'm not going to necessarily put it in a rotation, but some abilities I do want to put in my rotation. And Third Eye is definitely one of these that I always try to keep pushed up. Even though it's only 3 seconds, I'm always up close, so I'm always trying to reduce. And then I have my healing macro set up so I can sequence my healing abilities based on priority. But that's just me. I don't know anybody else who might want to do that, except maybe controller players. But hey, if it doesn't work for you, by all means, continue to do what you want to do. That's kind of a nice element to, the macro system. If you're playing a game that even allows macros, a lot of games don't allow macros. There's only a very few select games that actually permit macroing, and Final Fantasy XIV is one of them, along with Rift. Though I do have to say I do like Rift's macro system a little better based on the available script commands. But that's just a preference. Now, in the past, there's also been third-party programs that were not authorized. I would know about a few of those. Not anymore, but that you could literally take abilities and script commands and to basically sync it in with your game. So, but those are not permitted programs. And if you get caught, you can get banned, you can get all sorts of trouble. So, just a heads up. Dang it. I gotta do that too. All right. But let me give you the best kind of example in most macro situations. Anything that's going to be your main string combo, if you're going to weave any ability that you can weave off the global cooldown, you can macro that in a sequence. Okay? But you don't want to macro necessarily the primary combo string together. It will glitch, it will do funky stuff, and it's not worth doing it in that essence, because you are actually losing time on the rotation. So my recommendation would be concurrent with majority of everybody else with that, at least stating that you don't want to take, like, basically I don't want to take Shifu and Giku and these two and macro these together. That's bad. That those two just they'll mess up because they're on the same global cooldown. You can put them on a timer and a delay, but the problem of it is it reduces the time that it takes to deliver the attack. So basically, since they share the same global cooldown, you can utilize a weave ability in between the global cooldown, and then all of a sudden you get a cooldown effect. Weave it in or sequence it. We call it sequencing. If you're a macro writer, if you're a long-standing macro writer, it's called sequencing. We sequence that off the global cooldown. So that's what we call sequencing. Hold on. Let's see. I think I do like that there. Let's move that around though. $12-minute wait. It's kind of why I like having it there. It is nice to get that little timer on there. So while I'm waiting here, like for example, I have my Impai literally on the same ability as my withdrawal. Why? Because I get the greater Impai. So literally when I do this ability and I follow up or a double tap, I'll get that extra bonus without having to fumble around with it. You want to disassociate human error. A lot of people want to think that humans are way more efficient than programming, and I'll tell you the facts. That's a lie. Now you'll see, like, I fate, I meditate, and then I can go right into my rotation. Without seeing it, it died. Didn't even need to see it. I don't need to like second guess the abilities. And then if I hit this, I can double tap it, and I know I got my follow-up ability. And it is very reliable. If you're not paying attention, it's because you're not paying attention to the icons. What's going on off the global cooldown.
Welcome to the final days of Amaranth.
Don't mess with my macros! Sure, I might as well eat a little thing of a food. Food booth.
The fabric of our star began to fray, and the unchecked energies of creation begat malformed beasts.
Sorry about that. Also, you're echoing.
Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I did stream out.
Always gonna wait. Is it gonna do it? Okay.
But I did. No, I'm not posting that on the website. We're at least full select. It's my birthday. I said later.
A lot of people want to know why I'm like pressing a lot too. It's just a natural habit for me, so Like if I want to, I can just go ahead and time my button press. And yeah, so we have a lot faster combat.
Prayer gives rise to primals.
So we're not used to having, you
Its
know,
deepest fears.
a point something second delay between abilities or weaves or anything. It's like, you know, we can multi-spam. So you get used to like hitting buttons in like that order. Okay. The black mage is dead. Or the healer. Oh no, we're fucked. Sayonara. As soon as that tank dies, we're all screwed. We're dead, we're dead. It's over.
It's not like I'm doing much to them. This one has
It happens.
anyways. Okay. Yeah, there's need to call me for that. Because that's insane.
Go, 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 go. Oh shit. All right. Don't need any of it, I don't think. I don't know.
The land buckled. The cities burned. The waters ran red with blood.
These guys are definitely not that. Hold on. There we go, maybe.
Save up for a house. So, I'm waiting for
Yet this is far from the worst of it. Come, and I will show you. Just a little further. And you will see the end of a world.
what? You play Minecraft? Go back. Ethan just wanted to phone me and say happy birthday. Well, you don't have to phone me. Happy birthday.
Oh my. Sorry about that.
The star was fading. We saw we had to weave its laws anew. Between us and our goal loomed the final misbegotten fiend.
Love you for helping me out. Now I have a reset plot and I don't know what to do anymore. Hi. Why is everyone muted? Okay. Unmute you scrubs and put on headphones. I'm gonna change my Minecraft skin and you know what? We're going to stream. That was because
Here we go.
Dad, don't you even think Sarah
Buffed
think
himself
about
with it.
streaming?
Oh my gosh.
Stream one more time and let's snack.
Fine.
It's my birthday. You yell when you stream. You hurt my ears. So you're not allowed to stream today. I don't care. You're supposed to do it. Oh, yeah. Also, guys, I need to change my shirt, okay? Because I'm wearing
Oh shit.
Okay, I am back. Sorry, Daddy. I'm not changing my Why would he No, what? Why would they copyright the birthday song? That cat is
Oh shit.
for God look. What?
That's it.
Because why not, right? It's a dog in tomato soup.
Hell yeah.
Dad,
One second. Macros are terrible. I don't know why anyone would use them. I know, right? Please don't use macros. Speaking of, Scott, I'll actually give you my new rotation on that macro. So after this run, I'll give you what I did with my summoner. Been meaning to get that for you. Actually, I might even do a run with them to show how insignificant or how oh shit, I forgot to eat my cookie. No, I gotta eat my cookie. I'm always making sure that this is great. I have no melee except the tank. I haven't been here for a second. I always like Nocturnal with these changes on a lot of things, unless I'm doing a trial.
Okay, I just you're going to love this.
Yeah, don't do this. This is bad. Mystic's doing bad things right now. Mystic's doing terrible, terrible things with macros.
One day I'm going to
I don't know. I've only been
your body.
writing macros and stuff like that for a long time. Long ass time.
Okay. Bless you. Thanks. No problem. So then you go and find
Bad Mystic. Bad, bad Mystic. Not like I stream with these things. They're only for pretend. No, I do. I do. But I do. But I do.
here.
You should have seen me way back in the day when I would like write insane amount of stuff. Oh my god.
Fight, right?
I actually have restrictions in this game to my script code.
Okay. I need to turn up this after all this.
I'm moving so slow.
What's not working?
Almost there. Oh. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go over that after this. We'll get you hooked up, brother. I'll go over that entire sequence and what I did. I had to change a lot, man. Well, not a lot, but yeah, a lot. And like, oh my gosh, should be able to get everything in on one full, unless your pet swap. That's the only thing you might want to put on a second bar swap, but shouldn't be too bad. That's melee, isn't it? It is. I'm like trying to remember everything as much as possible.
Okay. Hello, welcome to the stream, everyone.
Bad Mystic. Bad Mystic.
Dad.
Bad. Don't try this at home, kids. It's bad.
Maybe.
Listen to all of the other people. Do not listen to me. I am reckless. Is your daughter a streamer too? She is. I just heard her say welcome to the stream. That's awesome. Taking after dad. She is a streamer.
It's called I asked you to stop streaming and you didn't.
Oh
It's
my.
birthday.
Here we go. I'll mute it for a second. It is her birthday. Just 1 sec. You guys see this? He was like, "Why are you so good?" And I'm like, "Shh! I use macros. Don't tell anybody. It's shunned here by morons who don't know how to write script." Oh, it's so good. Why the fuck you so good? I know, right? I ask myself that every day. I bet her viewers love when you PvP on ESO and you're screaming in the background. No, they don't like it. They're always like, whatever about it. She has a very small group. It's, you know, she's got, I think, like 300 followers. She doesn't do too bad. So, it's just kind of small and stuff. Alrighty, now let me switch here to my summoner. I'll give you the breakdown, Scott. What we did different.
Chibi's always win.
So there's been quite a little bit of changes, but that's not what I want. All right. So rotation's kind of the same. We're gonna start off with the miasma macro. You can record, rewind this. Just make sure you mark it so you have it. So just macro icon, miasma action. I don't do the AC. You can. I don't, because I just keep to the action, but that's fine if you don't, whatever. Try disaster, action miasma 3, then miasma. The biggest thing for me is why I got the other miasma. So basically, it just, miasma 3 is going to be first. If miasma 3 is not in a sync down, it'll switch down to the miasma. It's just that simple. So the second macro is the Scholar DPS. It's just Bio 2 and Bio. You don't have to necessarily have this, but like I said, I just keep it on here just for the proc, because once Try Disaster in, I like to sequence down. A lot of people are like, well, the ability goes down. I understand that. I just do it this way. That's me, because it's just a one-hit button anyways. The next one is the Fester Energy Drain. Macro icon Fester, action Energy Drain, and then Lucid Dreaming me, because if I'm out of energy and I don't have ether, I can use the Lucid Dreaming from that point, like when I'm coming down. Single target DPS button is single target. Simple. It's just Enkindle with the Ruin sequence down. So it's macro icon Ruin, Enkindle, Ruin 3, Ruin 2, Ruin. So that one's so simple. Bahamut macro. This one, let me find him. If I can find Bahamut. Right here, Bahamut's Blast, summon Bahamut, action summon Bahamut, then Enkindle Bahamut. Just back to back. 6 Ether Pack, which is, let me see if I can find it. Boy, oh boy, I got all these little macros. I'm such a bad boy. Bad mystic. Don't do this. Maybe it's in the shared?
What?
No.
Sure.
That's Oh Snap. It's like a little dude with whatever.
And I'll make a bowl and put cereal,
I'm trying to find it.
Right?
Oh, right here. No, that's not it. Where is that stupid? Oh, it's just Ether Pack, no macro. Duh. I was looking for a macro and there's no macro. Just Ether Pack in there. That's all that's in there. You want to keep that separate, actually. Do not macro that ability at all. This one does not get macroed. 7 is the rotation, AoE rotation. You might want to make alterations on this, but Outburst, Enkindle, Pain Flare, Energy Siphon, Bane, Lucid Dreaming, me, Surecast. Now, the Surecast is questionable, in my opinion, if it should be there. Because you shouldn't necessarily need it. You could take it out if you don't feel like it should be there. That one was that one's a tough call for me. The Lucid Dreaming, because I'm spamming Outburst. Okay, so it's my recovery point. And then we have Summon Death, Dreadworm Trance me, then Death Flare. Death Flare is always after to proc. Then just Psych for a single target heal. Summon Res. That's, you know, if you don't have this macro, I don't know what the fuck people are doing, but they don't have it. Some people don't have it. Swift Cast Resurrection MO, Resurrection. And then, of course, I have my Limit Break macro, which is my godsend because it's Limit Break, Action Limit Break on target, because the caster gets a radius. If you do it on target, it just casts. So you don't have to fuck with it, you know, if it's on target. And once again, why would you want a macro? Why? Because it's fucking, it saves you a pain in the ass. Now, my pets are not macroed, but you want to use Ifrit for single target, and you want to use Garuda for AoE. So, pretty much. That's how you want to go ahead and do it. The rotations become a lot simpler. I can do a quick run. DPS, actually. It's actually pretty good. So, and then Energy Siphon, like I said, is on the one ability. I also have my pets on Eggy Assault and Eggy Assault 2 on hotkeys. Okay, so just very simple. And then this is actually supposed to go over here,
Here, I'll help.
over here, and that's supposed to go over here.
So
If
we
you need
use
it.
Court.
So it's on a hotkey as well. So Summoner has the easiest fucking rotation ever. Watch, let me show you. Okay, so I can.
We'll do some slash.
And you'll see I animation canceled too.
No. How does that?
You want to make sure you wait about 1 point something seconds to enkindle Bahamut. It just makes it more optimal.
Because balls of milk are simple. You just right? Look. No, it's perfect.
It's so
perfect.
easy.
Look. And I'll do this. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Perfect. Oh, thanks. Hi, gamer. Hi, gamer. I love how I got you webkits and my viewers and my reaction. It's fine, just add the glass. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, cereal we have a month. Corn we have we're going to obviously get second and third place. Or fourth. Depending on how many people are, right?
So fucking cake.
legendary.
Don't even have to try, man. It's just easy as fucking peasy. You just hit him with the try.
And report.
And just go to town.
This is... We did that. This is pretty good, right?
Here it is.
Well,
All right.
better if they added
You get all that, Scott?
or someone hold it.
It's pretty cake, man. And then if you don't have to try, you hit this, then you follow up.
You do not. Sorry, but I have to give this to you. I'm lagging.
Get one full in. And then have Bahamut hit his blast.
I mean, this would have been good if it was Christmas, but
Fucking
it's not.
cakewalk.
It's not Christmas. Yeah, when you were in Christmas. Why?
AoE rotation's kind of like similar, except you're just going to lay down the Bane, spread all the disease
Never had that.
first.
Super. No thanks.
Looks pretty simple to handle. Even I think I can do that. It's very good. It's just nice and fluid, man. It's just a nice, easy rotation.
Just that
And
everyone
like, but don't do it. You're not supposed to use macros. It's terrible. I'm teaching you bad habits.
They were like, okay, so let's do, what do you want to do? And please, no people.
I'm teaching you very bad habits by doing this.
Excuse me.
But yeah, literally you'll have, with all these, 12, 13, 14 all on your pad, which will be good. But then you want to put your pets on your switch out. So when you have to switch between like Garuda and Ifrit, you'll have to make that switch. But other than that, you can keep the entire rotation on your one pad without switching. It's just very simplistic. But the Surecast is kind of questionable. That is the questionable part. So just a heads up. You know, that's the only one I was kind of like, I don't know if I really like Surecast there. But, you know, putting it anywhere else just doesn't seem kind of, you know, relevant. So,
Anything you want to do?
anything you're not going to use TriCast, remember you're going to do with the double proc. You'll see the icon switch. Just simple. They do that anyways. But I make sure I program it just so it doesn't fuck up to begin. So I script it anyway so it doesn't fuck up. So it just bypasses the primary.
It's supposed to be special for me.
But hey, whatever. Don't do it. Oh my god, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Jerry, don't do that.
Well, you would say there's
God.
a thing called quinceañeras and sweet 16s. Quinceañeras, if you
Don't use macros like that. It's bad.
Sometimes your culture. American culture is sweet 16s.
I hate when people say stupid shit. It's like,
Most states now, in like the USA. And that's the age where their parents start allowing them to date, and lots of people get pregnant at 16. Yeah. It's a milestone of more becoming a woman. It's like quinceañeras, but American. So, okay, so whoever doesn't know this, Nuki's Canadian, so she doesn't know what Sweet 16s are really about, or you know a little bit, but you don't know why they have it. It's called womanhood. Guys
what's
don't have-
up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yeah, it's called the early
One
Thanks.
second. Yeah, pretty simple rotation. I mean, as you can see, I'm, you know. Okay, once again, Ifrit's out. Want to put the dots up?
Ha, bye. I hate you. Hypixel, why? Why you do me like this? Okay, what do you want to play? If you don't tell me we're playing Murder Mystery. Murder Mystery. Do you want to do doubles or singles? Do you want to do doubles or singles? We'll do classic for some doubles. No, I don't care. Every time I play this game and there's suicide things, I do get murdered. Oh, murder.
More dots. More dots. More dots.
Every time I play this
All right.
game, I manage.
Ta-da! Macro's done, man. Alright. So, since I've demonstrated everything you should not do in this
I got
game.
the bow.
Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this.
Protect me, sort of.
Don't do this. Do not do none of that. Ever.
Okay, I got a bow. You're safe with me. Come on, we're going to find the murderer. And we're going to kill him. Or her. Or it. Or them. Depending on their gender. How dare you steal my food?
You see that? Do not do any of that.
Well,
Don't
it's not
do
that
it.
food
It's
because you
bad.
have a bow.
It messes up
It's
your
not that
timing.
food.
As you can see, I glitched
Same
up.
thing,
My
yellow
abilities
hair,
weren't
blue
firing in
hair,
sequence.
purple.
They weren't doing what they were supposed to do. It was all fucking disorganized and fucked up. And it's a bad habit.
Dad,
And
how
you shouldn't
dare
use a
you
fucking macro in this
my
game, because
Christian
if you
Minecraft
did, you're a
server.
fucking scumbag and you're a piece of shit and you suck and you're not optimized and all of that shit, because that's what they say, which is bullshit. It's not my fault, man. Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys go. It's cakewalk. Okay? I'll be honest with you. Any game that I can macro, guess what I do? I macro. Oh, but I do. I macro the fucking back. And I do it. Believe you and me. I'll script it. Can you mess up a macro? Yes, you can mess up macros. Can it slow down your DPS? It can if you don't know what you're doing. Right? That's all true. But if you know what you're doing and you sequence the rotation, you don't see like one or two buttons with macros on my screen. That's not how you macro. Like you see, like I set up a sequence. I only have this here for convenience. The number 2, the datum. That's a convenience, just button. So I don't have to like whatever. It's just a convenience thing. You could put it, you know, your bio there or whatever. Doesn't have to be like my miasma's purposely macroed. You could put bio here and that's fine. I just prefer having it laid down in that way. That's me. That's just like an OCD thing. But this is macroed for a reason. My single target's macroed for a reason. My Enkindle with my Bahamut is macroed for a reason. Even from my Phoenix is macroed for a reason. I have these hotkeyed for a reason. So that's what I would tell you guys. It's not, you just, once you get the macros in, it makes your gameplay easier. You're taking out human error. That's what you're doing. You're just like trying to set up the best way to keep your rotation consistent without fucking it up. That's what macros do. They limit, they reduce the amount of space that you're needing and take human error out of the equation. Okay? So don't overthink it, boys and girls. Don't overthink it. Alright, I'm going to let you guys go. Once again, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystic's MMOs. As always, thank you, Scott, for stopping in, and have a nice day.